guys, welcome back to my channel. Mia Dora here, mama of four, and today we're talking about waist training. I know it can be super confusing trying to find waist trainers. Do they even work? If you're going to do it, how do you do it? I've had 4 kids in 5 years. This is all I've been doing. This has been my life, waist training, and now I coach other women on how to do it properly. So today I'm going to answer all the common questions between corsets and Velcro and zippers and sizing and mistakes, what to do right, what not to do, how it works, what it doesn't do, all those things. So stay tuned. It's going to be fun. Okay, question number 1. What the heck is waist training? Does it even work? Well, first of all, waist training has been around for centuries. Like literally, it's so common in so many different parts of the world. You know, in Africa, in South America, in Asia, in a lot of those countries, women have been binding up their waist after they have babies for so long. Even bodybuilders waist train. Yes, I will talk more about actual weight loss and fat loss towards the end of the video, so you want to stay tuned for that. Waist training does not help with that. What waist training actually does is actually help tighten the waistline. So I really recommend this for women that have had babies. First of all, number 1 thing is you have to get cleared by your doctor or your midwife before you start waist training, okay? So waist training works for, not only does it give you support, it gives you back support, but after you have a baby, everything's like really loose and it feels really uncomfortable. So waist training just kind of helps provide that extra support. Why I still like to waist train is in the gym, and I'm going to show you guys my waist trainer that I use at the gym because it's different than a corset. I'm wearing a corset right now. I'm going to go through all the different waist trainers and like kind of see which one's best for you. But I personally wear waist trainers more now at the gym because when I'm lifting weights, what tends to happen with most women, especially moms, if those core muscles aren't strong, because they get loose, right? After you've had a baby or if you've had a lot of weight in your belly area, it stretches out the muscles, it stretches out everything in there. And then when you're lifting weights and because your core is weak, it actually ends up pushing your stomach muscles out more. So you might be like losing weight, you might be losing belly fat, and then you're wondering why you have this like bulge sticking out there. Part of it could be that the muscles are just sticking out from working out or just from the baby. So what the waist training does is it actually just helps train your waist to shrink. Okay, there's other things that help with that, like with the fat loss and certain exercises that I talk about in other videos, like stomach vacuuming. That's a big one. Hormones is a big one. Okay, I'm going to talk more about that at the end. Today, at the beginning, I really want to talk about just the waist trainers and like which ones to use. Okay, so there's 2 types of waist trainers that I use that I recommend to mamas if they want to waist train, if they want to try it out. The first one is a corset. Corset ones are great for just like every day you're going out, maybe your stomach muscles or just your stomach's kind of sticking out a bit, kind of helps give you that flat look. You can wear it underneath a tank top. You can wear it underneath pants. I'm going to show you this. Okay, I'm back. So see, you can wear it underneath pants. If I was wearing a longer shirt, you could do that. And it's just not that noticeable. You can even wear it with a dress. Okay, so that's why I like the corset waist trainers. There's different types of corset waist trainers. So you can do like there's long ones, and then there's ones that actually cut out at the hip. So it doesn't dig into your hip and it gives you a nice curved look, like the one I'm wearing right now. The one I'm currently wearing right now is by, I'm going to look and then I'll add which one this one is by, which one this one is by. I actually don't know. I got to take it off and find out. Okay. But if you don't want one like that, this one you can get on Amazon. The brand is called Iana. I've worn Iana waist trainers for years. So like I said, I had 4 babies in 5 years, 4 babies in 5 years. And I started waist training once I discovered waist training after my first one. And I was wearing the Iana waist trainers. So when you first have a baby, you don't want to be waist training. Like I'm talking like you just popped that baby out. Give your body a little bit of time to heal. And I'm going to show you the type of waist trainer that you want to use if you just had a baby. You need to get cleared by your doctor, your midwife first, because you don't want to cause any more damage or pain or, any problems in your insides. You need time to actually heal. But once you're like, you've been cleared by your doctor, you've been cleared by your midwife, they said you can go ahead waist train, and you're just like ready to have that extra support, then you can lightly start waist training. So I was wearing Velcro waist trainer. These are also the type of waist trainers you can get if you've had surgery. So if you've had like a C-section or any sort of abdominal surgery, like I had abdominal surgery as well. I had a rectus diastasis. That's another story, another video, hernia, all that stuff. But if you've had like a C-section or any sort of abdominal surgery, then you're going to want to wear something really soft, like something like that has a Velcro, or you see like those sweatbands. Those are nice and soft and flexible. It's not going to put too much pressure on you. Start with something like that after you've just had a baby, okay, or surgery. Then once you are feeling a little bit better on the inside, you can start wearing a corset. So, okay, I'm going to show you now, not the corsets, but the other types of waist trainers that I like to use, the second type. And then after that, I'll talk about like how to actually waist train. Does that sound good? So stay tuned. I hope there's just so much information around this that I just have so much to teach you guys. Okay, but hopefully that helps. And then I'll talk to you about how to find the right size for you. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is just an example of the corset waist trainer. There's so many different sizes. This is a short torso corset waist trainer. This is also a short torso corset waist trainer. Okay, most waist trainers that you see on Amazon, unless it says short torso, or even on websites, not even Amazon, but anything you see online, unless it says short torso, it's going to be even longer. It's going to be really long. And some people like that, where it comes like underneath your bust and it comes all the way down here. Some people really like that. I prefer the short torso because it's not like blocking my ribs or anything like that. And it doesn't go down too low. Okay. And I'm almost 5'8". With corsets, I know some people are afraid of like, oh, is it going to like move my ribs around? Is it going to, cause damage? All that stuff. With waist trainers are a lot different than corsets from a long time ago. So you know how I used to see those ladies that had like these beautiful corsets and like really tiny waistline and that beautiful shape or whatever. Those corsets are a lot different. Those are very stiff and hard. These types of waist trainers are not like that. So anything, if you do it too much, can cause damage, right? So I'm going to share with that. I'm going to share more about that towards the end of what not to do when you're waist training. But for now, just know that this is not the same as wearing those corset waist trainers from a long time ago. Those ones were just really hard. Okay, these ones are nice and flexible. They still have boning in them, but they're nice and flexible. Okay, this type of waist trainer. These types of waist trainers are waist trainers that I like to use at the gym because you don't want to wear a corset at the gym. I know it looks cute and you'll see women walking around with their corsets, and no judgment to them at all, but they're just not practical or safe when you're working out. Because first of all, you need flexibility. Okay, when you're working out, you need to be able to breathe properly. You need to be able to breathe deeply. You don't want to take a chance of like one of these bonings like sticking into you. It's just not safe. Okay, these are more for like everyday fashion. The ones with the Velcro, I love them because, well, they're super flexible, but they also provide really good support. I especially wear them when I'm weight training and like when I'm squatting, when I'm lunging, anything like that. So my abdomen muscles are not pulling up or pushing out. This one is from Iana. It does have some boning in the back. I've like worn this waist trainer out because I wore it so much. It has some boning in the back, but I love it because it has the Velcro. These ones are so, there's so many different ones like these. These ones are just great, even if you just had a baby. Excuse me. We'll talk about sizing in a minute. See, it's kind of like that. And I like it because, especially when you're squatting, you guys, if you're squatting, if you're doing any sort of exercises, you need to be able to breathe, right? And so you see how the corset like kind of comes all the way up. And this is a short corset. Most corsets that women wear, like the really long ones, don't wear that to the gym. This, you see, it's like, it's not over my solar plexus, so I can breathe properly, okay? Another thing is don't wear a waist trainer while you're doing cardio. You really need to be able to expand your lungs properly, Okay, super, super important. So yeah, this is nice and flexible, super simple. This is also great if you have absolutely no idea what size to get. Like I always tell my girls, go based on the brand's chart. Okay, because there's so many different types of waist trainers, they all size them so differently, right? So just go when you're ordering it, just look at their sizing chart and measure it out and then order it that way. And even though I've been doing this for so long, I still sometimes order the wrong size. Like an extra small in this one might be different than an extra small and a different one. And like a different, it could be even the same brand, but just a different style. Some are more flexible than others. That's the other thing. So like I said before, I've been waist training forever, right? Like I started after I had my first baby. I was dieting and I was breastfeeding. Side note, breastfeeding is like the number one way to lose weight. But be really patient with yourself. It takes time for your body to change, okay? After I had my first one, and actually all the way to my daughter, so my fourth child, I started off with a size medium and I waist trained my way down to an extra small. So keep that in mind too, that you're going to go through a lot of waist trainers. Like I have tons of waist trainers because one, you wear them out, and two, you just, as you're losing weight, and I have so many weight loss tips, by the way, different video, and proper exercises. But as you lose weight, your waist trainer size is going to change. So it's a good thing. So keep that in mind. So yeah, so I started with a medium and now I'm down to an extra small. And that was before any surgeries or anything like that. I did not have liposuction. I did end up having a rectus diastasis, major rectus diastasis separation, a hernia, because I was doing some other things wrong, but I'll talk about that later. And so I did need a surgical repair for that. But I had already waist trained. And that was the corset waist trainer mostly. And then the other type of one, the Velcro waist trainer that I would also wear. Okay, how do you actually use a waist trainer? So when you first get a waist trainer, it's going to be really, really stiff when you get it out of the packaging, no matter which one you get. It's going to be really, really stiff. I tell people, put it on first thing in the morning. Okay, because that's when your stomach is going to be the flattest. All of us are, right? You haven't eaten yet, all that stuff. As you go on throughout your day, you just eat more. I think you gain around like 5 pounds just within the day. So side note, don't weigh yourself at the end of the day, weigh yourself at the beginning of the day. But anyway, so you're going to try it on first thing in the morning. Do it up from the bottom. You want me to show you how to put it on? I'll show you. This is how you take it off. When you first get it, it's going to be really stiff, so don't worry about it. You can even like stretch it out a bit before you try to put it on. Some people recommend putting on a waist trainer over top of a t-shirt or a tank top because it can be irritating to your skin. You can do that, especially if you have sensitive skin. I don't mind, I don't care. So when you first get it, you want to put it on the bottom. Or sorry, you want to, what's the word? Do it up from the bottom, okay? So you see how it has 3 notches? So sometimes you can get it and you first put it on and it's like on the biggest notch. And then as you waist train and as you stretch it out, it's going to go down to the smallest notch. This is the same waist trainer I've had for years. This was before my rectus diastasis surgery. Before, okay, so just to show you that it wasn't that made my waist is tiny. There we go. Okay, so you see it's a bit different. Doesn't really have the nice little grooves on the side, but it's still comfy. I'll show you what it looks like underneath the clothes. Okay, so even without the grooves, it's still like so comfy. I love this waist trainer. This one, like for a corset waist trainer, I believe the Iana ones are a bit cheaper. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I bought a new corset waist trainer. I usually just wear waist trainers working out now. Anyway, this one is still really good. This is a short torso Iana waist trainer. Okay, really, really good. But I still prefer the other two that are, it's just smaller here and it's not digging into the hip. So when you get it, if you're able to get it on, then you want to check the size. So you can tell it's a good size. You should be able to put a couple fingers in the waist trainer like this. Okay. And so that shows me that it's firm enough that it's training my waist. It's reminding me and like helping me pull my stomach muscles in and tightening that area. But it's also not too tight where I can't breathe because we don't want to cause any damage. Okay. So here you go. You want to start off with like maybe 2 hours a day to start, and then slowly work your way up. Remember, this should never, ever be painful. Okay, it should be firm, but never painful. You can start off with a couple hours a day and then work your way up to even like 8 hours a day. But you really don't want to be doing more than that, just because you don't want to be like squeezing this area. You still have internal organs in here. So you don't want to be squeezing this area for a long period of time. The other thing is do not sleep in them. Okay, so unsafe. It's not one of those things where if you like live in your waist trainer, you're going to get snatched. No, if anything, it's going to cause damage. You need, and what will actually happen if you only waist train like 12, 16 hours a day and you're sleeping in and all that stuff, you're going to actually weaken your muscles even more. Yeah. So don't do that. Okay. Just use it for a small period of time. You don't want to do more harm than good. Okay. So don't sleep in it. So a couple of other myths. A lot of people talk about waist training online and, or like those sweatbands and that you're going to lose fat and all that stuff. You're not going to. You might, even if you were a sweatband, I'm not going to hate on anyone that has sweatbands. I think if you like it and it's helping you, like wear it, do it. Okay. The better you feel, the more likely you're going to stick to a nice weight loss program, working out program. And I am cheering you on. Okay. Do what feels good for you. I'm just letting you know that if you do, if you hear people talking about like waist training is going to help you lose fat, it's not. You can't, first of all, you can't spot reduce. And second of all, fat loss comes from a caloric deficit, making sure your hormones are in balance, especially for us mamas. I'm a certified hormone coach, so I have other content on there. If you want tips, I have products to help with that, to help balance with the hormones, to help you with fat loss. And when your hormones are in check, it's just so much easier to lose weight, especially belly area, especially stubborn belly fat. I'll actually leave my free ebook on the bottom here for you guys to download. I have a whole list of foods that help boost your metabolism, help you with your hormones, help you with belly fat. That is going to be way more effective. This is just another tool to help you with your mind and body connection, to help give you that support and to help you pull your stomach muscles back in. Okay. The other thing too is stomach vacuum. Actually do stomach vacuums. Stomach vacuums, I did not know about these. And I was doing, this is the biggest mistake I made, that so many other women make. After I had babies, I was doing crunchies because I was like trying to lose my belly fat. I did all these crunchies. And so even though I was waist training, and I was getting smaller, I was making my rectus diastasis worse. So I was making my abdomen separation worse with all these crunchies, and I ended up giving myself a hernia. And even though I was waist training, I was so tiny, my doctor's like, you actually need surgery now because you have a hernia. So if you have questions about that, drop it below and I'm happy to answer those types of questions. But just know that stomach vacuuming is so powerful for actually helping tighten your stomach muscles, bringing those abdominal muscles, that transfers abdominal muscles back together to close that gap and to really, really help flatten and tighten your waistline even more than crunchies. Okay. And a lot of the core exercises. So for me, I'm like, what I teach my girls ideally is you have if you want to wear a corset, you can, but ideally you have a waist trainer. Ideally you have a waist trainer while you're working out. Okay. To prevent the stomach muscles from bulging out. So that's one thing. Your eating and your lifestyle is to help you with actual fat loss. So that's like the foods that help with your hormones, the supplements that help you with your hormones. That's like my specialty. Okay, making sure you have good gut health and all that stuff. It's going to help you lose weight faster. So I'll leave that information below. Okay, so what you're eating is important. For the exercises, hopefully you have a really good exercise plan. If you need help with that, I have that below too. I'll leave a link for you. But even like no matter what you're doing, no matter what exercise program you have, please do stomach vacuums at least a few times a week. This is something you can also do if you've had a C-section, if you've been cleared by your doctor, or you've had any abdominal surgery. So even after my abdominal surgery, when I had that hernia repair and all that stuff, all I did was stomach vacuums. Okay, stomach vacuums, waist training, and eating the right foods. So hopefully that answers all your questions. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. If there's any other questions, drop them below. You guys, I'm new to YouTube. I'm mostly on TikTok and Instagram, so you guys can go follow me there. So if you have questions, put them below, and I promise you, I'm starting to make new videos on a regular basis. So I really appreciate you just subscribing, commenting, or asking questions, and turning on the notification bell. And DM me also anytime you have questions. So I hope that helped. I love you guys so much, and talk to you later.